Am I the asshole for not wanting my half-brother to have the same name as me? This is a really weird question, but for some reason it's turned into a whole issue. When I 16 male was born, my parents named me Giuseppe after my grandpa on my mom's side. My parents divorced when I was 5, but my mom got sick when was 12 and passed away a year later, so I had to go live full-time with my dad. 2 years ago my dad started dating Kaylee until they got married. I'm not close with Kaylee, but that's not cause we don't like each other. We just don't talk a lot, and I'm always staying with my grandma or uncle on my mom's side when I'm not at my dad's. They found out they're pregnant months ago and also learned it's a boy. Ever since, Kaylee keeps saying she also wants her son to be named Giuseppe cause she likes the name so much and how it sounds. I straight up told her that's my name and would be weird having my half-bro having the exact same name as me. Kaylee said it wasn't weird at all and I don't own the name, so I can't say it's mine. She seemed really mad that I called it weird and said I should get used to it because that's the name they're deciding on. My dad backed her up at first, but we talked a little more. I just told him it didn't feel right for us two to have the exact same name and maybe that could be a middle name or something if she likes it so much. He talked to Kaylee about changing it as a middle name so the first name can be something else, but she just got more mad. Now she says I'm ruining this whole experience by making a big deal over a name. My dad is in the middle. He's willing to back me up and not let Kaylee name their baby that, but says I should just let it go. My uncle, dad's brother, and some of my friends agree it's weird, but Kaylee is being super cold, so IDK if I'm wrong here. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Personally, I find that really weird. I'm surprised your dad agreed to it at first. Not the asshole. That's weird as fuck for two brothers to have the same name. Where is the baby's sense of identity when he literally has the same name as his brother? Where is his individuality? Not the asshole. Obviously, if it were me I would have said, I'm honored you would name your firstborn after me. I would be such a pretentious prig about it that she would no longer want to use the name. Not the asshole. It's not like she's naming the baby after the father. She is using the name your father, her spouse, picked for you. Kids aren't pets that you get to reuse names with. She said you're ruining her experience. You are most definitely not the asshole, and that's freaking weird of her. Not the asshole. Naming two siblings the same name is cruel. Not the asshole. Yes, nobody owns a name. But it's also weird of her to even want to name her baby your name. Not the asshole. What? They're gonna start a line of Giuseppes. Wonder what she'll come up with if the next one is a girl. Giuseppina perhaps. Your father's partner is rude and it feels like she's trying to replace you with a newer model she built herself. I'm glad to hear your father is with you on this one. Not the asshole, but like, what was your dad thinking here? He would introduce his kids at parties or whatever and everyone would be like, ah yes, Giuseppe 1 and Giuseppe 2. This is a normal 21st century naming convention. Even just having kids with the same first letter of their name can cause confusion in a household, let alone having two children in the same household with the same name. As you said, it's a family name from your mom's side. Surely they could find another name, maybe from the same origin. NTA. I actually know what you're going through. When I was born my mother wanted to name me Kuhi, but my father refused, so it became my middle name. My parents split up when I was 2 and my father gave one of his sons with his new wife the middle name Kuhi, and now they call him Baby Kuhi, pronounced Kai. It is a stupid thing to do and really it probably just feels like you've been replaced. Not the asshole. Your stepmom is nuts. It sounds like she's trying to replace you with this new baby. There are so many other names. Not the asshole. She is being cruel and she is acting as she wanted to replace you for your dad. If your dad can't see this and he is not being totally opposed to call his son the same name as you, he is a massive arsehole. Not only she is. Not the asshole. Not one bit. If she doesn't drop this idea, tell her that my mom and dad, together, picked out this name for me with love and lots of consideration, and it's an indicative of their love and the great times they spent together and a bonding experience that they shared. Why would you want that to be your son's name? I am thankful you wanted to include my mom and honor her choice in names, but maybe your kid wouldn't like that or may not be okay with living under my shadow forever. I hope you are sure you want the reminder that the name was chosen by my parents when they were together. It will always remind me and my dad of my mom, and maybe that's why dad is okay with the name. If you're okay with this reminder and can live with it, great for you. She is acting extremely weird. If this was a stepbrother, one that was already here and named when your dad met Kaylee, that's wouldn't be weird. If you were already dead, lol JK, then it wouldn't be weird. As it is, it sounds to me like Kaylee might be trying to replace you with her son. Also, she probably hasn't thought about how difficult this might make things in the future. If your identity and his get mixed up, it might be nigh on impossible to straighten things out. Also, when your dad passes away, he'd have to be extra super duper careful with his will to make sure Kaylee doesn't grab the stuff meant for you and give it to her son. Not the asshole. Yes, you can own a name if you're the one who is named that. Haven't seen anyone mention this, but this will also become a major issue when you vote, open a bank account, credit cards, commit a crime, etc. for both yourself and your half-brother. Because there are two men of the same name, presumably living in the same area, with the same father. Your identities will 100% get mixed up and your stepmother could potentially commit fraud against you, pretending your details are her son's. Not the asshole. It sounds like she's trying to replace you with her baby. Not the asshole. She says you don't own the name so can't claim it as yours, except that's how names work. You say your name is Giuseppe. Her logic is dumb. And the whole thing reeks of trying to cut you out of the family. Maybe bring that up. That it's hard to see this as anything other than her replacing you. Also, ruining the experience of naming a baby, is it that special of a moment? And how would her stealing your name not be seen as her possibly ruining your relationship with her and your half-brother? She is so selfish. Not the asshole, and if she pushes through, consider changing your last name when you turn 18 to maybe your mother's maiden name. Then there is a difference in this identity legally. Your dad might hate that. It's mega weird to have two kids with the same name that's used permanently and your stepmom sounds very stupid. It's not as weird to have it as a middle name. Point out to your dad that it improves the identity theft possibilities and do take steps for that if she does continue. Personal Finance has some info about that. Not the asshole. A friend of mine had something similar happen to her sister. Divorced dad married a younger woman, had a baby and gave her the exact same name as one of his adult children. And overall, people's first reaction was, what a crappy dad, forgetting your existing children for the new shiny family. Maybe appealing to your dad's ego will convince him. It's absolutely true that people will give him the side eye, possibly more than Kaylee. After all, what kind of unthinking idiot gives two of his children the same name? Who is he, George Foreman? Not the asshole. Is she doing it on purpose so that you leave, move out? It seems she is going out of her way to aggravate you. Because sadly, this is how it's gonna play out if she gets her way. You will look for a way to leave and go NC with them. Perhaps you can come up with a nickname for the baby and have everyone on your family's side agree to use it, to avoid confusion. Maybe this will give her a preview of how weird it will be to your family to have two half-brothers with the same name. Not the asshole. This is like King of the Hill where Cotton names his sons, Hank, and Good Hank. Not the asshole. Does this woman have no idea how credit scoring and stuff like that works? Two people with the same name, same address, and same father won't exist in databases. You'll be cleaned into a single composite identity. My father and I had the same name, and we were, for essentially all legal and business purposes, one person. This doesn't work the way she thinks it is. She's right that you don't own the name, but if she chooses it, she's condemning her son, as well as you, to sharing an identity without your consent or his. And just because she's clueless doesn't mean your dad gets to sit back and watch her screw both his sons at once. He needs to get a spine and deal with this. Not the asshole. And if she keeps insisting, starting saying, okay, I thought about it and I just think it's significant other sweet, you think so much of me you want you name my bro after me, and then start telling everyone that's why she choose it, so you have accepted it now cause it's significant other sweet. Then she'll come across even more the asshole if she makes a stink upside down face. Not the asshole. This reminds me of King of the Hill. The main character, Hank, ends up with a half-brother who his dad names Good Hank OBV, insinuating that original Hank is bad Hank. Your stepmom is trying to wipe the slate clean and start your dad's life over. Kick up a fuss. Keep your name yours. Not the asshole. It's not like your cousins and it's a shared family name. It's a family name from your mother. It's super weird to have siblings have the same name. Kaylee is unhinged. This is totally weird. It will create so much confusion in the household. This is your dad's battle to fight as a father. Not the asshole. Convey that it's like Kaylee is trying to erase you. Also point out that any legal documents are going to be challenging to enforce and untangle. Like power of attorney, wills, insurance claims, hospital bills, etc. My best friend and her full-blood sister have the same first name, Holly. The oldest sister is Holly Brianne, and since my best friend was born on Christmas Eve, her parents named her Holly Noel. Tears of joy. Woman facepalming. Medium skin tone. I was very perplexed when I figured this out. Tears of joy. If your dad allows her to give their son the same name as you, image the rest of his life. He would have to explain a few thousand times to others that he has 2 sons with the same first name. He might as well tattoo dickhead on his forehead. Be prepared for her go behind anyone back and just do what she wants. And your dad been a spineless man. Yeah, people disappointing you is real and you may see it firsthand. Not the asshole and good luck. Not the asshole, but be braced to lose this battle. Your father sounds like a doormat and your stepmother will probably wear him down. I'd be thinking of appropriate nicknames for him now to avoid confusion. I expect, minor, would really get on your stepmother's nerves. Not the asshole. That is weird. Why would she want a stepson and son with the same first name? Why would your dad want 2 sons with the same first name? Is he George Foreman? Lol. Sounds to me as if your stepmom is trying to be competitive and fit into the family by using a family name. They need to pick another name. Emo. That's ridiculous to have 2 sons with the exact first name. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Respectfully, Kaylee isn't just being foolish, she's being unkind. There shouldn't be any differentiation between half or full siblings. Who the heck names 2 kids the same thing? Your dad isn't in the middle. He's being a fool too. This is a name to be vetoed. He can't have 2 kids name the same thing. What in the what? Not the asshole. Who gives siblings the same name? It's SM's way pushing you out of the family. You and your name have a special place in the family because you were named after your dad's father. It's a connection to your dad and his family that her son won't have. She is jealous and wants her son to have that connection and supersede you in the family. You need to have a discussion with your father about this. You are his firstborn son and he cannot let her drive you out of your father's life. Not the asshole. But if Kaylee really wants a reminder of her husband's ex-wife every time she thinks about her son, and wants her son to think she didn't even love him enough to give him his own name, then there's probably not much you can really do to stop her. Not the asshole. It's weird, and her refusal to let it go as a revolving light. Location flag. Revolving light. Big ol' red flag. Especially with how defensive she's being. You're not even named after one of your father's relatives, it's your grandpa on your mom's side. She really needs to get over it and not die on this hill, 'cause it's weird. Not the asshole. Say you'll call him Giuseppe 2.0. I personally know people in this same exact situation. 2 half-brothers from the same father with the same name. It was terrible for them and for everyone around them. When they were mentioned by their name, no one knew which one of them was mentioned. We had to guess from the context. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Didn't former boxer George Foreman name all 5 of his sons after himself? Weird AF. Not to mention confusing. You should gift your dad a new pair of balls for Christmas. NTA. Not the asshole. Your stepmom wants to replace you. I thought I was coming into a thread where your family had this huge cultural naming tradition and this baby would be the 10th Nick or the 15th Mary or something like that. But you're right, dude, this is weird. Not the asshole. Naming her kid your name makes it seem like it's your child. Is she trying to suggest she had a kid with you? Like having a little junior. Tell them that's what it looks like and it will spoil your relationship with the child. I would commence the jabbing remarks. Like, the new kid comes in second already. He's not going to be an original, taking after his mom I suppose, so that the name for number 2 carries with it a bad connotation in her mind. Remind her that she is naming him after you. Not the asshole. Get a dog and name it Kaylee. Not the asshole. My friend has a similar situation. He, his father, and his step-brother all share the same name. It has also caused some legal issues and he's actually been harassed by debt collectors that were really looking for his brother. If your dad lets his happen, he is ta. It's also going to cause problems with identity later as adults. Point that out to your father. My ex and his father had the same first but different middle names and on health insurance. credit, etc. It was problematic. Companies get confused and send the wrong stuff to the wrong person and you spend hours straightening it out. As a half-brother from dad's side, the baby will have the same name and the same surname. The only thing how to tell you both apart will be the birth date. Can lead to bad legal mix-ups. Who did cause a traffic accident, who had a Dewey, to whom inheritance should go, who is in debt, etc. As not everybody who will check the ID will know to check and document also the birth date. Weird would be the least concern in this case. Not the asshole. Keep yourself safe. She wants to name her child after your mother's father. That rude and insensitive at best. Even as a middle name, that is a selfish decision for her to make because it hijacks your name and the reason why your mother named you. Tacky. Not the asshole. Sadly, this isn't even the first time I have heard of this. I know of 2 families who gave this issue with step families taking similar names as the original family. Remind them of the confusion of exams and credit card companies in the future.